Let me start off by saying I adore Picross. Much like other mind games like Sudoku and Can-Can, Picross is simply fun to play and helps keep your mind sharp. So when Lightwood Games reached out to me to ask if I wanted to review their newest game, Pic-A-Pix Deluxe, needless to say, I was all in. Pic-A-Pix Deluxe is somewhat like Picross, but also sorta not like Picross. While that sounds incredibly confusing, mostly because it is, let me try to explain. In normal Picross, on a 4x4 board, if the line says 2 space 1, that means the first 2 spaces of the line would be filled in, and then you put an X in between and fill in the last spot. The space between the pieces helps make it so you can use the process of elimination to solve the rest of the puzzle. In Pic-A-Pix Deluxe though, they don't do this, but instead go for a concept of color. So if the line said, for example, 3 green, 1 gray, and 1 green, on a 5x5 grid, you would put down 3 green with no X in between the 1 gray with no X in between the last green. This took me a while to get used to, but I really started to enjoy the concept of the colors. Much like how Can-Can is sort of a twist to Sudoku, this is much like a twist to Picross, which to me was really fun. X though are still important to the game. If you have 3 brown in the row that only needs 3 brown, you could put an X in the rest of the spots of that row as they're not used for anything. Furthermore, if a row has 2 of the same colors in a row, for example 3 brown, 1 brown, there needs to be at least 1 X separating them. So on a 5x5 grid, it would be 3 brown, X, 1 brown. The game keeps building upon these concepts and bringing them to Goliath-sized puzzles, which is a true test of your skill. Pic-A-Pix Deluxe is, in my opinion, incredibly fun in the gameplay department. Also, the game does have multiplayer. I didn't try this out as I have no friends who would want to play a puzzle game with me, but if that's your thing, it is here. Now on the presentation. This game is simply put a bit underwhelming here. While I don't mind simplistic art styles for a game like this, it just feels really plain with little to no animation. Again, this really doesn't bother me as I'm playing the game, not playing Menu Simulator, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Now onto the controls. The controls are basic and work great. Move the analog stick to move the cursor, L and R change colors, B places an X, and A places the box. Simple and easy to use. The game also has a touchscreen mode, but it's not my preferred way. It works fine, but again, I just think it's easier to use physical controls. Now onto the last note here, the music. See what I did there? Note. The game only has one song, but it's quite catchy. Upbeat, chiptune, and fun to listen to, though I get a bit of a Christmas vibe and I honestly can't explain why. It does get old after playing for about an hour, but you have the option to mute it. It really didn't bother me as I played it in a bit of smaller sessions, but if you want to marathon the game, make sure you have some other songs to listen to. In conclusion, I really love Pic-A-Pix Deluxe. There's one thing that I really like though, and that is the price. For a measly $7.99, this game provides hours worth of fun, and if you were on the edge, for that price, it's hard to say no. While certainly not perfect with the lack of polish that some higher-end Picross games have, Pic-A-Pix Deluxe still managed to keep me entertained and thinking, and at the end of the day, that is what matters the most. I give Pic-A-Pix Deluxe a 7 out of 10.